So to the second half of Ovid with Reverb Remixed. In the first half we heard two translations of Ovid's Amores 1.1. Lorraine did prompt me in the interval, but I should have made it more clear how much I dislike the Peter Green translation. But that was certainly the case when I first read it, but the thing is, the more you read something, the more it becomes your favourite cousin. So although some lines seem rather awkward, there's something endearing about it, and I think it's quite nice that that comes first, because it does clearly explain the story that lyrically then Dryden takes up in the second translation. In this second half, you're going to hear two poems and two versions of each poem. The two poems are the other two poems that Ovid wrote that both Marlowe and Dryden translated. But we have said goodbye to Christopher Marlowe in this project, this part of the project. So you will be hearing the John Dryden translation of Ovid's Amores 1.4. And then, and this is quite exciting for me because we kind of planned this project and the running order, and then I said we need to do something different. So for the past week I've been doing what I've wanted to do for years, which is actually write my own version of Ovid's Amores 1.4, because I think if one is criticising other people's attempts at Ovid, one has to have a go oneself. And it was interesting, I've been pacing the streets of Ventnor and Kate bumped into me and I said, I can't talk, I've got a poem in my head. So this is the result of that, and it's the first airing. It's not in print anywhere apart from here. So that's going to be very exciting for me anyway, but it might be like, so new. It's good for me, but terrible for anyone else. We'll see. Just to recap as well, of the poems, some of the poems you heard in the first half, we performed on the Hello Goodbye show, Resonance FM, and you can get that on SoundCloud if you wanted to listen to us on the radio again. Mixcloud, yes. So it's the Hello Goodbye show on Resonance FM. And if anyone's in London next weekend, we are performing at the 100 Years Gallery on Sunday afternoon. And yes, don't forget, tomorrow is a 5th birthday, so please come back to the Exchange tomorrow from 12. So let's get on with the show. And first of all, Lorraine will read Ovid's Amores 1.4, a cheery tale. And I have to label the irony, because when we practiced earlier, Lorraine said, it's not a cheery tale. So, ironically cheery, because there are three characters, as with the second poem. There is a lover, there is a husband, and there is a wife. And the lover is telling the wife what she should do at the banquet, with the awkward husband being there to make the evening somewhat bearable. Following that, I will read my version of the story and update it. And then we'll be going pretty much straight into Ovid's Amores 2.19, which again is another ménage à trois. There's a husband, there's a wife and a lover. But this time the lover is telling the husband off for not being hard enough on the wife and making it too easy for him to have an affair with her. And he's also complaining to his lover that she should play more hard to get. So that's the tenor of that poem. And there'll be two versions of that, both Dryden, one read straight and the other with distortion, reverb and beat.
Your husband will be with us at the treat. May that be the last supper he shall eat. And am I, a poor guest, invited there only to see, while he may touch the fare, to see you kiss and hug your nauseous lord while his lewd hand descends below the board. Now wonder not that Hippodamia's charms at such a sight the centaurs urged to arms, that in a rage they threw their cups aside, assailed the bridegroom, and would force the bride. I am not half a horse, I would I were, yet hardly can from you my hands forbear. Take then my counsel, which, observed, may be of some importance both to you and me. Be sure to come before your man is there. There's nothing can be done but come however. Sit next him, that belongs to decency, but tread upon my foot in passing by. Read in my looks what silently they speak, and slyly with your eyes your answer make. My lifted eyebrow shall declare my pain, my right hand to his fellow shall complain, and on the back a letter shall design, besides a note that shall be written wide. Whenever you think upon our last embrace, with your forefinger gently touch your face. If any word of mine offends my turn, pull with your hand the velvet of your ear. If you are pleased with what I do or say, handle your rings or with your fingers play. As suppliants use at altar, hold the board whenever you wish the devil may take your lord. When he fills for you, never touch the cup, but bid your vicious cook all drink it up. The waiter, on those services, employ. Drink you, and I will snatch it from the boy, washing the part where your sweet mouth hath been, and thence with eager lips sucked him. If he with clownish manners thinks it fit to taste and offer you the nasty bit, reject his greasy kindness and restore the unsavoury morsel he had chewed before. Nor let his arms embrace your neck, nor rest your tender cheek upon his hairy breast. Let not his hand within your bosom stray, and rudely with your pretty boobies play. But above all, let him no kiss receive. That's an offence I can never forgive. These things are plain to sight, but more I doubt what you conceal beneath your better. Take not his leg between your tender thighs, nor with your hand provoke my foe to rise. How many love inventions I deplore, which I myself have practised all before. How oft have I been forced the road to lift in company, to make a homely shift for a bare bout, ill-huddled over in haste, while over my side the fair mantle cast. You to your husband shall not be so kind, but lest you should, your mantle leave behind. Encourage him to toke, but kiss him not, nor mix one drop of water in his pot. If he befuddled well and snores apace, then we may take advice from time and place. When all depart, when compliments are loud, be sure to mix among the thickest crowd there I will be. And there we cannot miss perhaps to grovel, or at least a kiss. Alas, what length of labour I employ just to secure a short and transient joy, for night must part us. And when night is come, tucked underneath his arm, he leads you home. He locks you in. I follow to the door. His fortune envy, my own deplore. He kisses you. He more than kisses too. The outrageous cuckold thinks it all his due, but add not to his joy by your consent, and let it not be given, but only lent. Return no kiss, nor move in any sort, make it a dull and malignant sport. Had I my wish, he should no pleasure take, but slumber only your business for my sake. And whatever fortune shall this night befall, coax me tomorrow, by forswearing all.
Lorraine Baggaley, ladies and gentlemen. Daunted at the idea of following that, I asked Sebastian whether he'd accompany me at least for the first few verses, and he graciously agrees. Sebastian, please. Based in part on Dryden's translation of Ovid's Amores 1.4. Will this be the last office party with me having to watch while he does much more? To see you kiss and hug is far too much to bear. Let's make not love, but this night somewhat bearable. Come late, of course, gently caressing my hair in passing, looking to my face and making your responses our sweet coupling. Lifting eyebrows, fingers rubbing necks or velvets of the ear, wetting of the mouth, dear. Don't drink, but see that he gets drunk. A sip is fine, but pass your glass, and I will surreptitiously, with eager lips, sip too if he shares food with you or cheesy jokes, rejects these things, but gently so, to not arouse suspicions in his mind. His arms embrace your waist. Don't rest your head upon his chest, nor let his hand caress. If you dare blow a kiss, I'll promise to reveal myself to him and you, and to the office as a whole, as yours, disguise no more. What's more, don't disappear to the bathroom together, coming back together with a grin. I know that trick, been there before. Engaged indeed. These furtive passions are for us, not him, his sins, and now in drink. And when he's drunk and goes for more, we can, among the office crowd, engaged, perhaps much more, at least in thought. The party ends. He takes you home. I follow in my mind his kisses. More than kisses your response. Return them not in any sort. My wishes he no pleasure takes. unless it be in desperation with some office lackey on the photocopier while we're at it in the storeroom. But if not, and you're both shagging later on like pigeons on the garden fence, a momentary aberration lacking any kind of passion, save the need to get it done, however badly, indiscreetly, please don't tell me over coffee when we meet on Monday if you're free. So, is this witty? Witty enough for a driving copy? Tell me honestly, darling. It's lovely, sweetheart, such a gem. And you're so clever, aren't I lucky? Much more so than your friend Jim. His partner's such a boring poet. How you ever thought that I had eyes for him and not for you, and found his work preferable to yours? You're such a fool to be so jealously possessive of my captivating company. And actually, the oddballs you invented for your verses, constantly at war, despite the love scenes they adorn, to Cupid less than Mars they turn, to listen for their call to arms. I wonder if they're us, but in disguise, you clever versifier, hiding dirty linen in your poems. Darlings, don't get angry, poets do this all the time. Not you, your verse, thank God, was free from boring autobiography, or so I thought. Don't change it now, especially for me. I won't, and actually it's Ovid's fault and Dryden's by default, I guess. Their characters invade my senses, spilling out in sentences and rhyme. You smile and kiss my cheek, all is forgiven in a moment, so I think. And you get up, departing for the restaurant toilet, mobile buzzing in your pocket, winking at the waiter in anticipation of a favour, like some tender meat to savour, or a waiting alligator. I remember something similar, a crocodile hanging from a ceiling in a play in central London. They were common in apothecary workshops, who knows why. A theory that their skin being thick was much less likely to decay, less vulnerable, susceptible to nagging time, never in time, except when it's not wanted, even then, if limping, seldom syncopated, seems perfectly reasonable. You return, and back to this effacing personality, too humble and too easily pleased, in some opinions anyway. I have a plan. Your marvellous lack of modesty, your confidence, your wild elan could be a help promoting my new poetry. I'm at your service, self-effacing lover of the Ovid verses. Yes, there's worse, there's no denying, but despite what others say about them being run-of-the-mill, if we don't pick them up, who will? Just joking, darling. There's no way I'll be promoting your bad verse or Ovid's Dryden's by default. Just had a call from Jim's ex-partner. We're departing for the coast tomorrow morning, leaving London for a place that's even better. He's just bought a house in Ventnor.